What's up, YouTube? What's up, man? Welcome to the HG podcast. Today I got a special guest with me, man. His name is Ian Bell. He's a famous powerlifter, and he's out here in Oki. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, man. Enjoying Saturday.
Oh, it is Saturday. That's true, man.
Saturday, man. So I actually just got some ramen right before I came over here.
Where'd you go get ramen at?
I can't remember. It started with a G, but it's the best meal I had out here so far.
Oh, man, dude, ramen is my favorite thing. Do you watch anime?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
What kind of anime are you into right now? We're so off topic right now, but fuck you, man. This is how it goes.
Right now, I started watching. Oh man, it's an old anime. It's from the '80s. I can't remember it. I haven't watched it in a couple of weeks.
That means it's not good. If you can't remember what anime is, it means it's not good. It's not a good anime at all.
Yeah, but I've been keeping up with Boruto right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been watching those and waiting for Attack on Titan to come back on. Yeah.
Y'all know how I feel about Attack on Titan. That's my favorite, man. Do you read mangas at all or no?
Nah. But since I got over here, I might as well get into it. So I'm
Man, AOT has one of the craziest, like mind-bending stories I've ever witnessed when it comes to like anime. That's why it's my favorite, and it's my favorite because everybody legit like they die. Like
everybody dies, bro. It's
your
crazy.
favorite characters just end up getting wiped out,
Yeah.
man. It's insane, and I love that realism to it. That's why I never really like. Catered too much to Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Dragon Ball Z was cool because I grew up on it when I was young.
Right, same.
But at the same time, like, they keep bringing people back with Dragon Balls and shit. It kind of took away.
There's no real consequences.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that was my big thing with it, man. But it was cool. This is my first time meeting Ian, man. I saw him in a gym. Dude's doing monster fucking weight in the gym, man. Monster weight on bench. I'm just like, dude, I gotta know who this guy is. So I reached out, hit him up on Instagram. He was kind enough to extend that olive branch and coming onto the podcast, and now he's him, man. How'd you get into powerlifting?
So my dad was actually a powerlifter too.
Okay.
He is
family tradition.
Yeah. So my dad's like a 10-time world champion. He's broken like 20 to 30 different world records. Like he's considered, so his name's Gym Bell. He's considered one of the greatest powerlifters of all time.
Shouts out to that man, man.
Yeah, shouts out to Gym Bell.
Yeah.
So I kind of grew up in the sport. So like when I was a kid, my earliest memories of powerlifting are like being pushed in a baby stroller, watching my dad lift.
Yeah.
And so I've always been like aware of the sport, but I didn't start lifting weights until I started playing football.
Okay.
Back in Texas.
And that was in like high school, probably middle school.
Yeah, about middle school. So about 7th grade. So I was about 12 years old. And that's when I did my first meet.
Damn.
I started lifting weights, and I was like, you know what? I already know what the sport is. So I'm doing the same thing in the gym, getting ready for football. I might as well compete in it too.
Yeah.
And so that's how I started. I didn't really take it seriously until I got about, high school, about 16, 17.
Yeah.
And that's when I started competing nationally, internationally, doing pro meets and all that good stuff.
Man, that's insane, man. That's absolutely insane. Because when I think about like my high school time, like, I wasn't focused on anything legit, And that's probably because I didn't really have a good support system that actually kind of like guide me, making sure I was doing something. But that's beautiful, man. Damn, since middle school.
Yeah, man. So it's been 17 years now. I've been doing this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And then no injuries or some injuries, but nothing too crazy, right?
Nothing that keeps me from being able to lift at this point.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So healthy lifting for 17 years. That's really good, man. And then Gene Bell is your dad. I'm ignorant, so forgive me. He might be like someone that's like really out there and like 10-time. What you said? 10 times.
10-time world champion.
World champ.
So he's a world champion. He used to be a world team coach. He has world records that still haven't been broken to this day.
Damn.
In his weight class. I mean, he's Gene Bell. I'm like low key famous. Gene Bell is
high key
powerlifting famous. As
shit.
Famous you can get as a powerlifter, I would say.
Man, so I hit the lotto having you on him, man. His fucking son, you know what I mean? For real. I just thought he was cool, and I was like, man, I gotta find out like how this dude is able to put up this much weight. You know what I mean? So I had to reach out, but that's good to know, man. And then you continued. Did you do college? Do you do some college? Yeah.
Yeah. So my dad's been my coach, right? Pretty much this whole time.
Yeah.
Even now, like I kind of write my own training. But he still kind of oversees everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, started taking lifting seriously in high school. They have a high school federation back in Texas, the Texas High School Powerlifting Association, which is the second biggest powerlifting federation in the States, right behind USA Powerlifting. So just in
Wow.
Texas, like it's like pretty big. Like
Yeah.
there's maybe 30,000 kids lifting in high school. It's crazy.
Damn, that's a lot.
It's very competitive. So yeah, I went through high school. I won 2 state titles in high school.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then when I went to college, went to University of Texas at Austin,
Yeah.
and then lifted there as well.
Yeah. And we talked a little bit about Austin too. We talked because I won't like put that out there, but I'm looking towards Texas for the next place to be living for sure in Austin. And Ian told me he's definitely from there. Well, you told me he was living in San Antonio before though.
Yeah.
Before moving out here.
Yeah, grew up in San Antonio. Got there in about 4th grade. So grew up there and then moved to Austin for college.
Yeah. Okay.
And then just kind of stayed there for the next 10
Yeah.
years.
And then, of course, every time I talk to anybody that's from Texas that's been or actually lived there, all they talk about is like nothing but good things about Texas. And Ian's one of the food.
Barbecue, the breakfast tacos, since being in Okie, like I miss just kind of driving fast on the highway. You know what I mean? All the speed limits are like, like 30, 40, 50
Yeah,
miles
it's
an
rough.
hour.
It's rough.
Back in Texas, I can hop on the highway. I can go 85, no problem. But yeah, love Texas. Love Austin. Love the vibe and the culture of Austin.
Yeah. Can't wait to get there, man.
Yeah, man, you're gonna love it.
Yeah. Are you a big like smoked meats type person? Like you love smoked meats and shit? Yeah.
You know it, man.
Ah, fuck, man. The briskets and shit.
The brisket, man. It's gonna fuck you up, man.
God damn, I can't wait, dude. I be seeing those Instagram videos with people like squeezing the brisket.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
Just nothing but juice.
I can send you 5 places like that in Austin.
Oh, jeez. My mouth's salivating right now, man. So, powerlifting since middle school, man. Your dad was definitely an inspiration for you to actually start powerlifting, which is cool as fuck. What made you actually stick with it all these years and not venture out? Because you did mention you was doing football.
Yeah. I mean, I did a lot of different things growing up, and I think that's what helped me to stick to it as I became an adult. Right, because it became like my decision. It wasn't just the only thing that I was doing and the only thing that I enjoyed doing.
Yeah.
It was a choice. Like, no, I want to do this because this is what I enjoy doing the most. But growing up, I played tennis, I played football, I played basketball, I did wrestling, I did track and field,
all around athlete.
I did karate. Like I did a lot of different things, and I think my parents did that intentionally, so I had like a lot of different options of things I could do. Or at the very least have a lot of different experiences.
Yeah, for sure, man. Shout out to your parents, man.
Yeah, man.
Sound like a beautiful couple, as well as people that are encouraging you to be better. That's dope.
Absolutely. I mean, both of my parents are big inspirations to me, and I think helped provided that structure to be able to make like decisions as an adult that felt aligned with who I wanted to be.
Yeah, I love that. It was really well put.
Yeah. But yeah, as I got into college, I mean, I did cheerleading for a couple weeks when I was in college too.
You laugh, but there's nothing but chicks on the cheerleading squad too.
Facts, big facts.
So you can't look at that dude sideways at all.
Nah, man. I mean, those 2 weeks, those were a fun 2 weeks.
Yeah. Plus he big as fuck. Like, who really gonna tell you something, bro? You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. Like, all the cheerleaders were huge. Like, all the cheerleaders were like about my size or bigger. So like, I don't know, it was crazy.
So we talking like thick.
Yeah, like all the
Texas thick,
dog. Like everybody else was like 6'2", 230, throwing girls up in the air. Yeah.
Jeez.
So that was a fun 2 weeks. But yeah, even when I was in college, I was trying to do different stuff and have different experiences. But I knew when I went to UT, because they had an established powerlifting program.
Yeah.
It wasn't super big, but part of the reason why I chose to go there is like I want to build this program into something, like a national collegiate brand for powerlifting. And so I knew I was making a choice, like, I'm just going to focus on this. And right before I got to school, I competed in my first international meet, and I went to the Sub-Junior Worlds. So Sub-Junior means 18 and under.
Okay.
So I went to nationals that year, and you got to qualify, so you got to win nationals, and then that qualifies you for the International Powerlifting Federation Championships. And so basically I got to college, moved in, and then a day after I moved in, I had to hop on a flight and went to the Czech Republic and competed.
Wow.
So before taking a class, before meeting anybody new at college, like I was in the Czech Republic for 2 weeks.
That's crazy, man.
I took all my books with me so I can study and everything.
Yeah.
I didn't open a book, bro. I was in the Czech Republic. I was wilding out. You know
I bet, dude.
But yeah, when I came back, everything, half of my motivation was like, I want to build this program. I want to bring people into it. I want to make it huge. And try and win some national titles for the University of Texas.
That's dope, man. That's actually a really dope story. Your first day, right? Your first week, you said.
Yeah, so I missed 2 weeks of school when I came back and just had to catch up for the rest of freshman year.
Damn, man. Yeah, that's really cool, man. And did you end up finishing school, or you end up, I don't know how you, like, a lot of people like me, I didn't finish school. College isn't for me, man. Yeah, so I finished school. Congrats, man.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
For sure.
I got my undergrad in psychology.
Okay.
So yeah, the team, actually, we started out with about 8 people on the team.
Mm-hmm.
I think like 6 guys and 2 women. And by the time that we had left, we had grown it to a team of 90 people. Pretty much half and half, men and women, split down the middle. And we had won 2 team national titles by the time we had all got out of there.
Nice, man. Yeah. That's accomplishment after accomplishment after accomplishment, man.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have done it. I mean, we had a great group of people kind of within our team. One of the guys that came in with me my freshman year, he was a freshman too, Preston Turner, who's also a multi-time world champion.
Shouts out to you, dog.
Shouts out to Preston Turner, world record holder. Me and him just kind of spearheaded, just kind of growing the whole thing.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, man.
And what time frame is this? Because I don't know. How old are you, if you don't mind?
I'm 29.
Damn, you don't look it, man. You look good. You look good.
Thanks,
29. You're probably the same age, 26. Yeah, 29. So, I don't know, how long ago was this?
So I went to school 2010, graduated in 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is right around the time, like YouTube and stuff like that wasn't like really popular in the sense of like what it is now.
I had a little YouTube channel for a hot second.
Oh wow.
Sophomore, junior year.
Yeah.
I was just like throwing Della videos up there and all that stuff. And at that point, like not a lot of people were doing what I was doing as far as the weight that I was kind of lifting. Now,
of course not.
Now there's all kinds of crazy people out there lifting heavy weight.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still pretty competitive, but, like, the amount, I think, as a sport has grown over the past 10 to 15 years, you just got, like, freaky people walking into the sport, you know what I mean? People who, like, were just crazy athletes in all these different sports, and they stop playing something and they come to powerlifting.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people doing, much crazier stuff than I'm doing.
Yeah.
Which has personally been great to see the sport grow and have its reach grow farther and farther and farther. Because that just brings new people in, more new people in, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Love the mindset, other people be hating. There's people out there that hate, but I love the mindset of, just spreading positivity and stuff like that. So we talked about powerlifting, right? What's the difference between powerlifting and bodybuilding? Sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah. So bodybuilding is more of just, posing on a stage, right? And you're not actually lifting any weight. So it's all just like posing and like the technique of posing. And that specific type of training.
Okay, so that would be, I know C-Bum just won, was it Arnold Classic? Or was it? Yeah, he just won Arnold Classic. So he'd be considered a bodybuilder, right? Yeah, because it's more posing and stuff like. Okay, so we talked about like all these, I don't want to jump from one topic to the next, but it seems like so diverse, like how much stuff you could get into when it comes to like bodybuilding or like powerlifting and stuff like that.
So now we're talking about the world of strength sports.
Oh, okay.
Right? So we have bodybuilding, right? What we just talked about.
Yeah.
And then we also have, we have strongman. Right? Okay. I think everybody's saying strongman.
That's like the boulders and shit.
And, running around with things.
Yeah.
They do the big deadlifts and all that good stuff.
Yeah. With like tires on the sides and shit. Yeah.
All that good stuff.
Okay.
So strongman basically is like a medley of strength events. Right? So you can just pick whatever random, you can make up events for strongman. And it's just like a medley of different things.
That makes sense. You be seeing them pull like trucks and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a makeup event. How the fuck you gotta pull a truck? Yeah. All right, cool.
So that's strongman, right? And then we have weightlifting, right? So that's the Olympic sport. So that's clean and jerk, right? And then you got the snatch.
Yeah.
And it's just those two lifts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Totally uneducated, being educated right now. Okay.
And then we have powerlifting. And so powerlifting is the big three. And we got squat, bench, deadlift.
Yeah, those are my favorites. Yeah. So that's, okay, so I cater more to powerlifting than anything else. But then, of course, you have to exercise and work out. You have to do those in order to kind of body build.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
No, I mean, your best bodybuilders are also doing heavy-ass squats and heavy deadlifts in the gym.
Yeah.
And your best strongmen are, for sure, squat, benching, and deadlifting.
Yeah.
You know, not a lot of crossover between weightlifting and powerlifting. But the big three is pretty ubiquitous, I think, throughout all strength sports.
Yeah.
Like, everybody kind of does it.
Okay. And then when you're actually powerlifting, you're not posing, you're doing weight. So you're competing at a weight bracket, and then you're trying to be the strongest person at that weight bracket.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, for us, we have 9 weight classes for men. And so the way that a meet works is you have 3 attempts per lift.
Okay.
Right, so you kind of ascend throughout the lift. So you have your first attempt, second attempt, and then hopefully your third attempt is, you know, your highest weight that you can lift. So 3 attempts for squat, 3 attempts for bench, 3 attempts for deadlift. Your highest attempt for each lift, you add that up, and that's your total, and that's how you rank them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. And then you said there's 9 different weight classes for okay, so I'm 175 right now.
Right.
So I could go up, right? I could look online right now at being 175 and be like, what's the for deadlift, squat, and bench, right? And then my goal, being a powerlifter, well, trying to be a powerlifter, right? Because I'm in the gym every day basically, and I'm trying to eat right. Is to compete at that, try catch that weight, or try to be better,
Right.
and that's how I compete. And then from there, you win nationals or tournaments and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's what's up, man. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, man. So you can go online and they got all the meet results from all the time. You know, that you can check out what kind of weight people are lifting at that weight, at that weight class.
Because right now I'm kind of just going at it like not blind, because I'm not doing tournaments or anything like that yet, right. But I like to compete. You know what I mean? Yeah, I definitely, I'm very competitive, and weightlifting is something that I recently picked up. Like we talked a little bit offline. Like I've only been doing it for 9 months. I find it like really therapeutic for me now. And it's kind of funny because while I was in the military too, I never like really cared. I was always athletic. I always played sports and I was very athletic. I always was strong. I was just physically fit. However, I never necessarily catered towards the gym. Yeah. I'd go, but I didn't enjoy going. But whereas now I could spend 3-4 hours in the gym and it'd be like nothing. You know what I mean? It's like that's a place I want to be. That's cool, man. So that's something I'm gonna actually do tonight. I'm gonna look up some homework and just be like, what's the strongest person at my weight class right now? What they benching, what they deadlifting, and stuff like that, man.
You can go to Open Powerlifting.
Oh, .com?
OpenPowerlifting.com.
Okay, yeah.
And that is like, it's just a big database, and they've compiled every single meet since like the early 70s up until now.
Now I'm a little bit scared. Somebody my weight might be doing some crazy ass numbers.
So you weigh 175, so you'd be like a 181 or a 183
in
that weight class.
Oof.
There's some monsters in that weight class. So prepare yourself when you look, you know what I mean?
Okay, so that leads me to my next question, right? You mentioned there's monsters in this different weight class at this weight, right? What organizations test for juice? Whether or not you're natty or whether or not, you juice it. Because it seems like in the weightlifting, at least in the sense of like Instagram, right? And like what you see on social media, you see these crazy fucking physiques, man. And you're like, how is it that this person is able to achieve that? Yes, it's a lot of hard work, but I feel like there's not a lot of people that are natural achieving these type of physiques, you know what I mean? And I don't know if they're competing or they're just doing it just, because they like to look good. That's fine. However, what organizations are testing for steroid use and what aren't?
So the organization I lived in tests. And
okay.
So that's called the International Powerlifting Federation.
Okay.
And so, they have like national organizations underneath that. And so one of them, the U.S. has one. And I remember when we first met in the gym, I told you about USVI, right?
Yeah. U.S. Virgin Islands have a fucking powerlifting team. That's so mind-blowing to me. I had no idea.
So they're under the IPF too. So they all
International Powerlifting Federation. Okay.
Yeah. So they do regular testing. Their testing is run by WADA, who does the testing for the Olympics.
Okay.
So they test for sure. There are maybe like one or two other federations back in the state for powerlifting that test as well.
Yeah.
But the majority of them don't.
Ooh.
So there's a lot of federations that don't test. So I think, if you're thinking about competing, it's important to know, whether your federation tests or not. Whether you're using or not, it's important to know either or.
Yeah.
To make the right decisions for yourself.
Yeah. And then we talked about the fact that you grew up in Texas. You know what I mean? It's kind of like your home for you. You know what I mean? Would you say that it is your home?
Yeah, for sure. That's
all right. I don't want to misplace you.
Yeah.
And you mentioned how competitive it is. You said 20 to 30,000 high schoolers are fucking powerlifting, man. That's a lot of people that are taking this very seriously and competing. So that leads me to the next question, man. Like, I'm pretty sure with that level of competition and that level of pressure, like, it's gonna get people that actually want to start using steroids because of the level of competition that they're at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you ever had to battle with that type of pressure, or what kind of kept you on the route that you were at?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you get to a certain point of competition,
you
have to make that decision. Right? Of what road am I going to go down? And I think that's true for a lot of different sports, right? When we think about track, think about weightlifting, think about wrestling, like all these Olympic sports. For me, the decision was like, it's not worth it to me in my own integrity as a lifter. It'd be different if I was going somewhere like I'm lifting in an untested federation, everybody's on juice, right? Everybody's on stuff, and we all know that, and it's okay. My whole thing is I'm not gonna go somewhere and cheat. I'm not gonna go somewhere and cheat and break the rules when I know what the rules are. There might be other lifters who are doing that within my federation. But I don't have any control over that. That's outside of me. All I can control is what I'm doing and how I lift and how I feel about my lifting. And I know if I were to cheat, I would feel shitty about how I lift. Right? I would feel shitty about my results. Because I know I couldn't go to sleep at night knowing I did this to achieve this. It's not worth it to me.
That's a good attitude. It's a positive attitude. I like that. And in regards to going to other international IBF or IPV that tests and you're actually cheating to try to be the best. But if you were in one of those that don't test,
right? And I got a lot of friends who use and they lift.
Oh, you gotta give me that number.
And they lift.
I'm juicing all the way, baby.
They lift in the untested federations, right? They're crazy strong. Right. And just like how we're talking about these people, we see these people with the physiques on IG and all that. And we see I don't know, people doing crazy stuff. It's fine. Like I don't have any problem with people using. I have a problem with people cheating. I like that. For sure, absolutely. So because I got friends who use, and it's all gravy, man. And because, that was my point. It's a lot of hard work. Whether you use or not, you still got to put in that work in the gym. To look that way or to lift that weight. That doesn't happen magically. Dun dun dun.
The first one to go off on the podcast. It's okay though. I'm not big like Joe Rogan, so.
This isn't in my phone. Somebody left it in here. I don't know.
That's not your phone?
No, my friend left it. Dana left it in there.
Oh. Dana, come grab your phone, man. You interrupted my podcast, girl. Come grab your phone.
Alright, should be good.
You were talking about, you have friends that do it. That doesn't bother you. Well, no, you're talking about you have to put in the work.
Yeah, you got to put in the work, regardless. And so I'm always going to respect that. I'm always going to respect people putting in work.
I don't know, man. Look, this is 9 months, and that's no time. This man's been doing this for 17 years, and I'm already like, fuck it, just give me the juice. For real, you know what I mean? Honestly, I say that jokingly, but you know, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with More Plates, More Dates on YouTube. This big shoulder, broad dude. He kind of educates, you know, bodybuilders on, you know, steroid use or just what he thinks other athletes are using, whether it's HGH or they're just taking TRT, testosterone, all types of different stuff. Right. And I find him to be very educational in the sense of like in 2021, I feel like you could take it safely, and there's a right way. You know, so with that being said, I'm one of those people. I feel like, yeah, you could, you know, I should probably push the human body, the human's natural body to, you know what I mean, limits that I've probably never seen on myself before. So I'm curious, and I'm definitely open-minded to actually doing it. However, like everyone else, side effects, big no-nos, you know. And I don't think I'm smart enough to know I don't plan on doing it long-term. You know what I mean? I just feel like, you know, 1 cycle, 2 cycle, you know, let me see what it looks like, see what it feels like. But I know even so, just doing 1 or 2 cycles could drastically fuck your body up for like the long term.
Yeah, I think you never know. So on one hand, there's like so much information out there, kind of what you're saying at this point.
Yeah. That
it's a lot easier to do it as safe as you can do it.
I like the way you said that.
You know what I mean? But like you're saying, the side effects, oh my God.
Alright, bro. You're going to just have to turn that off at this point.
I got to figure out how to turn it off.
Let me see. You got to turn it off. I'm listening, man. Go ahead and talk to the people.
But yeah, as far as side effects, the hard part is like you never know exactly what you're getting at times when you're getting the stuff, because you're not really, it's not like you're getting it from a pharmacy sometimes or picking it up from the store.
Yeah.
So you don't know exactly what is in there and how that might affect you.
That's very true, man. That's very true. As safe as you can. Yeah, there's always still risk that's involved.
Always
right?
risk.
Yeah, because it's not a controlled substance in a sense. Like you said, you're not picking it up from a medical professional that could tell you exactly how much of what is in that, you know, whatever you're taking. So, yeah, and, you know, at this point, we're going to just have to see. We just have to see. No, but seriously, man, I saw a recent video with this dude. I guess he got a bad batch of what's the Chernobyl? It's not Chernobyl. It's like Tren. I think it is Tren. So he got a bad batch of Tren, man, and this dude had like really bad acne, but it wasn't acne where it was like, you know, you got acne, like you look a little bit gross. This was acne where it started to like blister up and it started to pus and it was just, yeah, and it just started to like spread everywhere. And I was just like, you know, I think I'm okay on that. You know, because I'm not, you know, I'm not like a cute dude. I'm not like a good looking dude. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to make myself worse than I already look. You know what I mean? That was just fucked me up. It just made me all insecure and whatnot, man. But anyway, powerlifting for 17 years, man. You continue to put up this weight that's fucking crazy. You have any competitions that's coming up?
Yeah, in 2 weeks actually, I got the World Championships.
Oh, where's that at?
That's in Norway. Yeah.
Lit, man.
Yeah, Stavanger, Norway.
That's dope, man. So currently, like in 2 weeks. So where you at right now in your regiment? Like, can you talk to me a little bit about like what you're eating, or what are your goals in order to compete at the level that you're at?
Right. So right now, I did like a 10-week prep for this meet, and so within that prep, you know, we kind of have linear progression. So I kind of like step my way up as far as intensity of the lifts that I'm doing. I base it off of percentages a little bit. So maybe I'll start about like 70 to 75% of my 1 rep max, and then use kind of like a volume template attached to that. So maybe I'm doing triples or fours with that, and I just kind of step it up throughout the weeks.
Before you continue, triples or fours, you got to educate me. What are you referring to?
So like the amount of reps that I'm doing.
Okay.
So yeah, like 3 reps.
3 reps of 3 sets. Is that a triple?
Yeah, well, a triple would just be like a set of 3.
Oh, okay.
So if I'm doing like 70%, I might do 4x3, right? So 4 sets of 3 reps.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you say you're working your volume up. Okay.
Yeah.
And then go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I just kind of step it up throughout the weeks, and then about 6 to 7 weeks out.
Yeah.
Or 6 to 7 weeks in, I usually hit like my top week, like my most intense week.
Yeah.
So that's usually between 90 to 97% of my 1 rep max. So I'm kind of like pushing for something I want to hit for like a second attempt at the meet. I never max out in training. Like I saved that for the platform.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
is that a technique that you've just you've evolved to learn over the years, or is that something you're initially doing for the first time?
No, that's something I've always done. That's something my dad has always been a big proponent of.
So never max out.
Yeah, never max out in training. If you're gonna max out, it better be how my dad would say. It better be at the meet, or you better be like testing yourself at the end of a cycle.
Okay.
But when you're going through training, everything should be sub-max. It could be hard, right? It could still be like, maybe like a 9 out of 10 as far as intensity.
Yeah.
But you don't want to really max out throughout training. It's not worth the amount of recovery you'd have to get to the next week. And it's going to impact your next week of training. Instead of just being able to kind of keep pushing.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And how long are your regiments? How long are your cycles?
So usually, like a competition phase is about 8 weeks for me. An off season, like volume phase, is about 10 to 12 weeks for me.
Okay, and then what's your schedule like? Monday through Friday, or Monday through whatever you're doing? What's your schedule like?
Monday is heavy squat day, light deadlift, and then Wednesday is just bench. And then Friday is heavy deadlift, light squat. And then Saturday I got a second bench day.
So Tuesday and Wednesday,
Tuesday and Thursday are
off days.
So those are just, maybe hit some light cardio.
Yeah.
And do some mobility work and kind of stretch and roll out and all that good stuff.
Nice. Okay. That's something I need to really work on too, is recovery, man. I just recently got cupping done. I thought it was good. I noticed that I did back, I think the day before, the 2 days prior to getting it done, I noticed I didn't have any soreness in my back. Yeah. And I did feel a lot more mobility, and I just felt more agile. So that's probably something I probably do like every 2-3 months or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I get massages when I'm leading up to competition, probably about once a month. Like deep tissue massages.
Yeah, with a happy ending. No. Japan famous for those.
Yeah. And then I'm also, I roll out like every day. I got a foam roller. I got like a softball, lacrosse ball.
Yeah.
Just kind of doing like some, soft tissue release.
Nice, and that's for about 30 minutes, an hour.
Yeah, about 30 minutes.
Yeah, I need to work on my recovery, man. I need to work on like taking better care of my body, because I definitely notice I'm not as flexible as I used to be like 9 months ago. You know what I mean? I think it's a little bit, just trying to do couple stuff is a little bit harder than it used to be.
Yeah. Recovery is everything. I feel like in all sports, recovery is everything. But even more so, I feel like in strength sports, because you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, right? And that repetitive movement sets you up for injury.
Ooh.
Right, because your body is just moving in the same motion every single time, and eventually it's going to wear out something, right? And something is going to wear down or snap, or you're going to pull something.
Oof.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've seen guys, huge guys, I'm talking, built 300-pound dudes that can pull 900, but they're so tight that when they deadlift, they pull a bicep and tear it, right? And now you can't lift for 9 months.
Yeah.
But if you spent the time of, let me roll out my bicep, let me roll out my pec tie-in, let me stretch, 2 to 3 times a week, that muscle stays supple and it can still move and it can still glide how it needs to glide within the fascia.
Yeah.
So that recovery up front really pays off
in the long run. Yeah. And now that you mention that too, I've always noticed that my left bicep, whenever I do any type of bicep exercise, whether it be bicep curls or anything like that, my left one is always way tighter than my right. Like my left one fatigues way faster than my right one does. I don't know if that's like my right is stronger than the left, but I do realize that like I do notice that, you know, I probably should rule it out, man. And now that you mentioned like that's how you snap biceps, and dude, you saw that gnarly ass video that I think that what was his name, man? Who is he with? He was benching. I think he was benching in Dubai. I think he's over there in Dubai now. He's a Larry Wheels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was with Larry Wheels, man, and he tore his pec. You hear it just like a rubber band.
Yep.
And you're like, fuck, man.
Yeah, torn pec or torn bicep. I mean, those are my worst nightmares.
Yeah.
Because you just, when it happens, you just see it roll up.
Oof.
It just snaps up, and it's never the same after that.
For real.
You see a guy with a torn bicep, you know, you make a bicep right, you get like a normal peak.
Yeah.
Torn bicep, your shit's like way up here.
Oof.
It's like all small. It never goes back to being the same.
Damn.
Even when you reattach it, it still doesn't look the same.
Damn.
It still doesn't function the same either a lot of times.
You know what? Now you mention it, man, and I'm like thinking about like how, because my biggest thing is I want to prevent being injured as much as I can.
Yeah.
And I don't take care of my body the way I be lifting. I'm lifting every day, and I don't lift heavy every day, of course not, right? But I probably should take a week and be like, you know what I mean, take full care of my body and roll out everything I can just to, because like you mentioned, man, you're doing these exercises every day. The monotony of squatting, deadlifting, and you know what I mean, benching is just, it does strain your muscles and it puts a tear in your body, man. And then that's just, you know, from your expertise of being in this game for 17 years, you know what I mean? I'm glad I can actually talk to you about this too, because you're definitely making me more aware of like, hey man, you probably should take care of your body a lot more. Yeah, and then there was another dude too that recently tore his, I think he tore his bicep. No, he did tore his bicep. He's the dude on Instagram that be like making his muscles move, his chest. Yeah, I think he just like you mentioned, man, he did he was flexing and the left one was just like not it. This is like non-existent. You're like, fuck, man. And then for people like that, or people like yourself that this is your life, this is technically your life work. Would you consider this your life work, in powerlifting? Not in a sense of like, you know, but you love it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm extremely proud of it. It's probably one of the most impressive things I've done in my life, I would say. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so having an injury like what those people have and then it never really being the same, you kind of, I don't know, man, your legacy kind of diminishes from there, don't you think, a little bit?
Well, I think it's, you know, I think that's like, that depends on like the public perception, right? I think what is even more devastating for people is how it impacts your own identity, you know, like as a person. If all of your identity is wrapped up into being a bodybuilder or being a powerlifter or being a CrossFit athlete or being a weightlifter or whatever, and then you're no longer able to do that thing, then what do you have, you know? You spend all your life and I mean, just for me, like I have a job, right? Like I'm a social worker, 40 hours of the week, and powerlifting is technically my hobby. Even though my hobby is a job, right? My hobby takes up 25 hours a week, you know, throughout the week. But, you know, even with like powerlifting being a hobby for me, like I'm spending 2 hours, you know, maybe twice a week rolling out and stretching. I'm in the gym 4 hours, 4 times a week. You know, like so much of my life is kind of wrapped up into this thing, and you invest so much time and energy and blood, sweat, and tears. When you can't do it anymore, it fucks you up.
Yeah.
Like I've been in that place, right? Like I've been in that place where I've had some devastating injuries before where, you know, people told me I wasn't going to be able to lift again, I wasn't going to need surgery and things like that. And it kind of puts you in this place where like, you don't know where to go. And if you don't have anything else, then it's also like, well, I don't know what I like outside of this.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's important to me outside of this.
Yeah, you know, with identity crisis. Yeah, a lot of athletes suffer from that whenever they retire. Yeah, I've heard about that. That makes total sense, man. So basically, it's important to love it. However, make sure you have an identity outside of you know, these sports.
Yeah, which is, it's funny, right? Because at least when I was growing up in sports, right, they were like, you gotta love this more than anything in the world, right? You gotta put everything and you're all into it. You gotta, at least, this is for football, right? You gotta eat, sleep and breathe football 24/7 all the time.
Yeah.
Which you can do that, right? And you can be really good at football doing that at some point. But then one day you're gonna not be able to play football anymore.
Yeah.
And what are you gonna have? You're not gonna have anything. You're not gonna have the relationships you want. You're not gonna have the other hobbies outside of this thing that is engrossed your life for all this time. You're gonna be left with nothing to catch you, right? And that's just an easy setup for depression. You see it a lot with professional athletes.
Yeah.
But even, powerlifting, which I feel like is kind of like a hobby sport, a niche sport, I've seen it with powerlifters as well, once you're not able to do that thing anymore. So I think from every level of athlete, whether you're just kind of like a hobby athlete or you're a professional athlete, you have to have some multi-dimensionality to your identity so you can go to other places when one thing fails you. If sport fails you, you have this other thing that can catch you and that you feel fulfilled in and that you love, and you can go to that and still feel like you're living life the way that you want to live it.
Yeah. I that's beautifully said, man. I don't have anything to add to that for sure. That's really well put. And scary being an athlete, man, especially when you're playing at that level, or you're at that play field where you have all these eyes on you, you're no longer able to do be a professional football player, and your life just comes crashing down because you don't have anything to identify as. That's probably really tough, man. And what's really tough to watch too is when you see like people like Ronnie Coleman, man, and like him suffering from all the surgeries. I watched his documentary on Netflix the other day. Yeah, and I was just like, man, it's really sad, man. And what bothers me a little bit too is the fact that I don't know how the industry is in regards to powerlifting and like sponsorships and stuff like that. But it doesn't look like he got taken care of as much as he should have. Right. At least in my sense financially, but this is me from the outside looking in. I have no idea Ronnie Coleman's finances, but just from the outside looking in, based off the documentary, it didn't look like he was taken care of as much as he should have been. Because at the end of the day, everybody knows Ronnie Coleman. You know what I mean? If you ever picked up weights, some would consider the fucking GOAT. You know what I mean? A lot of people like put Arnold Schwarzenegger up there, but honestly, he's not fucking with Ronnie. He wasn't fucking with Ronnie. You know what I mean?
Ronnie took the whole sport to a different level.
Yeah, man. Lightweight, baby. Yeah. He's not fucking. And like you see him, but he's still in like really good spirits. From the videos you see, he's still a very happy-go-lucky person, which is beautiful, man. You know what I mean? I don't know if you'd ever see this, but shouts out to you, man, Ronnie. It'd be kind of dope if you want to come on a podcast too. But yeah, man, his legs. You see him walking with the crutches and stuff like that. Is that a side effect of steroidal use, or that's just a side effect of lifting so heavy for so long and putting all that type of strain on your muscles and your joints and your bones?
I think the two kind of played together with Ronnie Coleman, because he was taking a crazy amount of stuff. Yeah. But that also allowed him to lift so heavy so often. I think Ronnie Coleman is one of maybe not one of the first, but he's done powerlifting meets before. Like Ronnie Coleman has also done some powerlifting meets, and I think he's one of the bodybuilders that will like train super super heavy, like on squat, bench, and deadlift. Yeah, and he did that really often. And the thing about like pads is you can take them, but they might help you increase your muscle mass and your hypertrophy, but they can't grow new tendons. You know what I mean? They can't make there's only so much they can do about your bones and your tendons and your ligaments and all that. Yeah. So there's a certain point where there's a breaking point. Yeah. Where you're lifting so heavy and, those aren't able to recover. Yeah. Or there's too much strain for that. And I think that's kind of what happened in catching up to Ronnie Coleman. Yeah. He was lifting so heavy, so often, doing all that crazy shit. And, all strength athletes, anybody who's been lifting more than like 6 years has a fucked up back. right? Like if I got under an MRI like tomorrow, I probably have a herniated disc and some other stuff. It's not debilitating for me, but if I got an MRI, they would be like, you can't lift anymore. But for Ronnie, he did it for so long, like it was just, things were degenerating and he couldn't walk anymore and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think those two kind of play together.
Yeah, and it makes sense the way you said it. It definitely does. I think this is definitely more than anything. This isn't even like a podcast at this point. I think this is just like me being educated. You know what I mean? Because I'm over here like thinking, I'm like, damn, I probably should really just start lifting for my health. You know what I mean? Not lifting to be all like crazy and stuff like that. Just lift to be like healthy. You know what I mean?
But like, you got your short-term goals and you got your long-term goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, everybody's lifting for, like, I started lifting so I could get chicks. You know what I mean? That's really why I started lifting weights.
You get more dudes than chicks when you start lifting, honestly.
Unfortunately, nobody told me that. When I was in middle school, I was kind of like a fat little pudgy kid. And I was like, let me start hitting this iron. So I get these cuts for these girls.
Yeah.
So we all start lifting for, like, I think a lot of us, for some of those reasons, we want to look good for ourselves. Sometimes
I think 95% for the chicks.
Yeah, sometimes we look good for others. You know what I mean?
But only dudes that show up. Hey man, let me get your IG, bro.
Yeah, so,
you look good.
You look huge, dog.
You look huge. Why you give me a chick coming up to me asking for my IG, fool? That's funny, man. That's hella funny, man. One thing we didn't actually get into yet, but that I would like to get into too, diet, man. How important is diet?
Diet is, I would say nutrition is very important. I feel like I think that's what separates people, right? From like an average lifter, from like a national, international caliber lifter, is how they eat and how they fuel the workouts.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a part of my, lifting sphere that I want to improve upon, about how I eat and when I eat and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
By no means am I the role model, for nutrition. I just sucked down a big ass bowl of ramen before I so I'm all bloated from sodium.
Nothing wrong with that.
But no, I think it's extremely important. Something I think about a lot is, on the days that I work out, or the days that I train, and especially meet day.
Yeah.
That's pretty structured and regimented for me, as far as like my protein, what kind of carbs I want to get, and how soon that I want to eat to my workout, and what I want to eat during my workout sometimes, and what do I need after my workout. Because I think of nutrition as another sphere of recovery. Right?
Yeah.
Like, this is also part of recovery. Training is like, for me at this point, training is like 30 to 40%. Right? Like at this point, like I know I'm going to do in the gym, I know what numbers I need to hit. It's almost just like kind of checking off a box. The recovery part, that's everything for me right now.
Yeah.
And so nutrition is a part of that. Because I need enough carbs to be able to work out how I need to work out to hit this certain number. And I need this protein to be able to recover after this. And I need this amount of water to keep everything lubricated so I'll be ready for the next workout.
Yeah.
So I'm always kind of thinking about this cycle of what do I need to lead up into this, and what do I need after this, and then what do I need the rest day to get to the next thing.
Yeah.
All that to say that, it's so important.
Yeah, man. I definitely need to work on nutrition. I think I eat fairly well. I do have an addiction of Coke, man. Coca-Cola.
It's important to differentiate.
Yeah. Coca-Cola, man. And it's because I grew up on it, you know what I mean? I never had like somebody to be on my back to be like, hey man, stop drinking soda. So like Coca-Cola is just like my kryptonite, man. Yeah. So like I drink soda. That one is the main one, and then normally I really don't drink any other soda. I kind of stay off of everything else, and then I have I don't know if you know about this Japanese apple juice, bro. That's called Nachan.
Nah.
God damn, dude, that's my favorite. That's another kryptonite of mine, bro. I just finished it too, but like that juice, that Nachan juice. Look, if you ever come out to Japan, man, they got apple juice called Nachan. I promise you, it's the best apple juice you ever have in your life.
I gotta stay away from that for right now.
Yeah. As well as the grit, but I'm not just saying that because I'm black. All right. But yeah, that's fire, and I like their teas. and that's really my go-to. I drink vitamin water. You know, occasionally I've had Coca-Cola, the soda, and then Nachan, and then water most of the time. And then I do drink at least a gallon, probably like a day and a half. You know, I'd finish a gallon like a day and a half.
Right.
And then I eat a lot of. I try to cook a lot, so I eat a lot. You know, home, and occasionally, you know, get some Popeyes.
Got to.
Yeah, I got to, man. But definitely something I like to work on more is my nutrition, because like you said, it's very important.
Yeah, and I think, you know, for powerlifting specifically, you know, it's nothing crazy like bodybuilding, right? They're like super structured of like what they eat, and they're tracking, you know, everything down to the gram.
Yeah.
And all that. So for me, like what I tell people, what I usually advise people is, first off, get your water in, right? Like you're doing, try to get a gallon in.
Y'all listening?
Get a gallon in a day.
Yeah.
And then secondly, protein I feel like is the next important thing. So try to get like 0.8 grams to like 1.2 grams per pound of body weight of protein, right? So that's the biggest thing of
Okay.
yeah, kind of helping, because when you work out,
yeah,
you're tearing up, you have all these micro tears in your muscle fibers. The protein is what helps rebuilds that and synthesizes those muscle fibers. So you need that for the recovery and for getting bigger.
Yeah.
Right? So those muscle fibers grow back more dense. So that's the second biggest thing. Third biggest thing I tell people is try to stay away from as many processed carbs as you can.
Ooh.
Right? Which is hard. Like
what would be processed carbs? I don't
like honey buns, sugary cereal, pastries.
Yeah, I don't have a sweet tooth.
Yeah, I got a huge sweet tooth. That's my biggest kryptonite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that messing me up, man.
Damn, yeah, I don't have a sweet tooth. Oh, honey buns and shit. Nah, I can't.
I love that shit.
That shit too sweet, man.
Nah, man, ain't nothing too sweet. Kills me, bro.
This shit too sweet, man. A cup of milk with a honey bun. That sounds really good though.
Yeah, man.
A cup of milk for real.
Yeah,
but
it's a Thursday night.
Yeah, definitely got to stay away from those. And then there's always these talks about wheat bread versus like white. Some people consider wheat bread to be like bad carbs, or bread in general to be like bad carbs. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean bread. It depends on what your goals are. You know, if you're trying to maintain
context,
if you're trying to maintain, or if you're trying to decrease your body fat percentage, then you want to stay away from bread as much as you can.
Yeah. Okay.
So
carbs in general, if you're on a deficit.
Right. That's the biggest thing you're going to be manipulating is your carb intake if you're on a deficit for sure.
Okay.
By no means does that mean no carbs, right?
Yeah.
Then you're just going to be dead.
Yeah.
Right. So you want to get in some good complex carbs. My go-to is always brown rice. Brown rice with sweet potatoes.
I fucking love sweet potatoes.
Love sweet potatoes.
I don't know about brown rice, but I can fuck with some sweet potatoes.
Yeah. So I eat sweet potatoes like damn near every day of the week.
Dude, Family Mart got actual sweet potatoes in a bag. You ever had those?
No. Is it the ones like in like it looks like there's some liquid in there with the yams and stuff?
No. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. No, I'm talking about bro. I'm gonna put you on. I'm gonna pick up a bag for you, and if I see you at the gym, I might hand you it. But they got like actual sweet potatoes that like, no added anything. Well, at least I can't read Japanese, so I don't know. But it tastes original as fuck. You know what I mean? And I just fucking love those. That's like my go-to. Bro, honestly, a lot of times too, when I don't feel like cooking, I know you haven't been here that long, but like you could go Family Mart at Lawson's and they got like food.
Yeah.
And their food be like legit. It's not no like 7-Eleven or any gas station type food. Like you get good fucking food when you go Family Mart at Lawson's. And honestly, like if I know like it's probably like 8:40, it's like I don't really feel like cooking. You know what I mean? Let me just walk across the street, grab some Lawson's, and then pick up some potato salad, smash, and I'm like, okay, I'm good.
For real. Yeah, I've already done that, bro. There's a Family Mart right across the street from my house.
Yeah.
I be getting home, after training. It's like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know what? Every time I walk in there, they got chicken and rice. Right? And that's all I eat is chicken and rice.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's good, man.
It hits, and it's perfect.
Yeah. So Norway in 2 weeks.
Yep, Norway in 2 weeks.
How you feeling, man?
I always say this, man. I'm never ready until I step on the platform.
Oof. Okay.
So right now, I'm still not ready.
Yeah.
There's still some things I got to work out, and getting my mind ready to be in that space to lift and all that.
Yeah.
But I know, I'm gonna do what I need to do, and when I hit the platform Friday on the 13th, like, I'll be ready.
Yeah, I like it, man. I like it.
Right now, I'm not fucking ready. Not right now. I feel like 2 weeks out, like, there's like this surge of anxiety that kind of comes up. Right? I'm just like worrying about, like, oh shit, what if I'm not ready? What does that mean if I'm not ready? Did I do everything right leading up to this prep? Am I eating right? Is my cut going well?
Yeah.
Am I gonna get hurt? And when you start thinking like that, or at least when I start thinking like that, I start feeling like weird things in my body. And then I'm like, oh, does that hurt? Is that an injury? You start to
manifest it, and it's not even there. Yeah.
So then, like, when that starts happening, by now I'm like really aware when it happens. And so now I can notice it and be like, okay, like I'm back in this space. And that's kind of where I start like my mental prep of just like calming myself down, keeping the pressure low, keeping the expectations low, reminding myself of all the work that I put up until this point.
Yeah.
And all the numbers that I hit that give me confidence in what I'm going to hit this meet.
Yeah.
And also telling myself, like, I've done this shit before, right? Like, this is like, I think my 7th or 8th international competition.
Sheesh.
So it's not like I'm a rookie stepping out here. Like, you've done this before, you know what to expect. It's only so different from year to year as far as the setup and how you're going to do it. So yeah, I just kind of go through this process of keeping myself level.
Yeah, and that's actually a good segue for my next question too, because a good friend of mine who I recently got close with too, he asked me, he was kind of like, what do you do for basically when you feel like you're a little bit overwhelmed and you're just kind of battling yourself, you're just in conflict with yourself mentally. And I was like, I go to the gym. And he's like, yeah, I know that, but like, what else do you do, like, if you're not able to go to the gym or when you're not at the gym? And I was like, I really don't have anything that I do. He's kind of like, do you meditate and stuff like that? I'm like, no, not really. I mean, I like the idea of it, and I know there's a lot of scientific benefits that, you can get from meditating and doing like breath work, but I don't really have anything that I necessarily do to like control my mind. Do you have something that you do to like whenever you feel a little bit overwhelmed, you know what I mean, to kind of like bring yourself back?
Yeah, absolutely. And I love this question because, like I said, like I'm a social worker.
Yeah.
Like the majority of how I've created my identity now is like I'm a therapist and I'm a social worker. But I've used a lot of that to apply to sports, right? And I do some coaching on the side and like working with athletes.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, I remember you saying like the gym is therapeutic for you, right? And so a thing that I've heard a lot recently that people say like, oh, the gym is my therapy. The gym is my therapy. And like, I don't know, when I hear that, I like more the sense like the gym can be therapeutic. Because the gym isn't therapy, right? Like therapy is a different thing and it gets you to a different place than the gym can be. There's a lot of things that are therapeutic, right? But that's different.
Yeah.
And so when I think of things like when you're battling yourself and you're dealing with things, sometimes when you go to the gym, it blows that stuff up, right?
Yeah.
And it makes it even bigger and harder to deal with. Because when you think about when you're in the gym, it's just you.
Yeah.
It's you and yourself. And if you're not right with yourself, then you're not going to be able to be centered enough to do what you need to do in the gym. So for me, journaling is a big thing for me. And there's a bunch of different ways that you can journal.
Yeah.
But, one that comes to mind just off the top is gratitude journaling, right? Just picking one thing that you feel grateful for in yourself, in the people in your life, and in the world at large. And it's just a practice of kind of shifting your perspective every single day. I'm a big proponent of mindfulness, and mindfulness practices, staying present. I think that encompasses breath work as well. But the big tenet of mindfulness is just this practice of coming from the future, right? If you find your mind in the future, your brain in the future, your thoughts, or if you find your thoughts, staying in the past, right? The practice of coming from there back to what's happening for me right in this moment. What's in front of my eyes? What do I see? What do I hear? What do I feel?
Wow.
What do I taste? And that practice is just kind of coming back. Because we all get into the future, right? Like for me, like, I'm worried about in 2 weeks, am I going to fuck up at this meet?
Yeah.
And sometimes I find myself doing that when I'm in the gym and I'm squatting and be like, oh man, like, I can't fuck up like this at this meet in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But now I'm in the future. I'm not focused on squatting here right now. And so I'm a big proponent of, mindfulness is just like a general, I feel like, life skill that is helpful for a lot of people. But for athletics specifically, I think it's helpful for like staying concentrated, right? Staying centered, staying grounded, staying there in the moment, and not getting lost in everything that's happening, all the variables that are swirling around you.
Yeah. Man. Beautifully said, man. For sure, man. And one of the things that I was like, wow, is because he said the same thing, man. He goes to the sauna 10 minutes and his main goal is to be present. So he's really focusing on his senses. What is he smelling? What is he seeing? How does he feel? And you said the same exact thing, man. I was just like, definitely probably something I should start implementing too, because I don't have one right now. And I don't know how I was going through life all this time without having it. And then you brought up the fact that we're constantly living either in the future or the past. I was like, for sure, man. Because I'm already thinking about, like, what I'm going to do next week, or who am I trying to have on a podcast next. And, just being present.
Yeah. You're constantly doing.
Yeah.
And we all are. We're all constantly doing, right? I mean, that's how the world works.
Yeah.
Big part of mindfulness is shifting from doing to being.
Yeah.
Right? Just kind of being there in that moment.
Yeah.
But senses are easy, right? Because your senses are never in the future. Your senses are never in the past. Your senses are always right there in the present and what's happening in that moment. You can't smell into the future. You can't taste something in the past necessarily. Your senses are always kind of right there. And it's an easy way for you to come back to the present.
Man. Ladies and gentlemen, man, that's fucking beautiful right there, for sure, man. I never heard anybody put it like that. And I listen to a lot of podcasts, so, I've never heard anybody make it so simplified and, but still have the same weight attached to it. Absolutely, man. And I think that just comes from, your years as a grown man and your experience from doing what you do. And I love the fact that you said, like, the gym can be therapeutic, however, it can't be therapy because it's two different things. Man, education. So, before I let you go, man, I did want to ask you about, I see you have a very good Instagram following, you've been doing this 17 years, what are your goals with, like, powerlifting and stuff like that? I mean, your dad's a 10-time world champ, and then you're a...
So I've won 5 junior world championships.
5 junior world champs, okay.
So juniors 23 and under.
Yeah.
And then you have the open category, right, which is all ages.
Yeah.
I've been to 2 of those, and I've gotten 3rd and 4th.
Nice, man. Congrats.
Yeah.
Fuck. So you mean there's people that's your weight that's doing more weight than you?
Yeah.
Ah, man, I don't know if I'm cut out for this, man.
It's only been 9 months,
bro. You do a lot of weight, man. You do a lot of weight, man. I just picture my arms underneath that weight. I'm just like, I'm gonna die. So do you I mean, you did send me something on Instagram too that I haven't been able to get to yet, but I'd like to get into too. But, like, are you sponsored or?
Yeah, I have an equipment sponsor.
Nice. You want to shout them out?
Yeah, shout out Untitled Support Systems.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they make the best powerlifting gear on the planet.
Nice.
And they've been my sponsor since I was 16 years old.
Cool, man. That's very cool.
Yeah, so they've always hooked me up and always given me some great gear. They sent me some stuff last week for this meet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hopefully, probably if I catch you in the gym, we could probably do a little short, like, snippet video of the gear that they sent you, and we could post that up too.
Yeah, sure.
For your page and stuff like that. That'd be pretty cool, man. So my last question to you, man, because I don't want to assume I know what your dreams are and stuff like that. You know, even though I know you have goals of going to Norway. Right. And competing and doing great things over there. But what are your dreams right now, and what goals or steps are you currently taking to accomplish those dreams?
Yeah, so I mean, first goal is to win my first Open World Championship.
Yeah,
that's been a big one up there. Second goal, so after the World Championships, there's like a step above that called the World Games, and so that's kind of like a sister to the Olympics. So it happens every 4 years. And powerlifting is a part of that. So the way that works, you got to get top 3 at Worlds, and that qualifies you for the World Games. And then they shrink down the weight classes, so instead of 9, they only have 4. And then they do it based off a body weight coefficient of who kind of wins.
What's that body weight coefficient? What does that mean?
So basically, like the ratio between your body weight and the amount that you lift, the amount of weight lifted.
Okay.
So the higher the coefficient, right? So let's say, you know, I'm in the 105 kilo class, and let's say I total 2,000 pounds, right? And then let's say there's a guy in the 74 kilo class, and he totals 1,800 pounds. His coefficient is going to be higher than mine.
Yeah.
Right? Because of body weight's weightlifting.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
So second goal is to win a World Games championship. Yeah, I think my dad has one or 2 of those. So I at least like 1. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, man. Like father and son. Yeah. That'd be dope, man.
Third goal is so I have a world record for deadlift in the 93 kilo class.
Nice.
I went up to the 105s 2 years ago.
Yeah, congrats.
So I'm trying to get that world record sometime.
Congrats, man. That's dope, man. So those are the goals and dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, dreams, man. Dreams.
You got a lot of dreams.
I got dreams, man. I mean, it's a dream to be able to be a sports therapist. I think that's a dream, right? Just kind of combining 2 of my identities.
Yeah.
It's a dream to be able to, you know, be a part of an official coaching staff, right, at international competitions. And it's a dream to win multiple world championships and have a bunch of crazy ass world records.
Yeah.
You know.
It's cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, man. It's definitely a pleasure, man, talking to you, man. For real. I was glad I was given this opportunity to be educated and find out more about yourself, man. You know what I mean? With that being said, shout out your socials, man. Let people know where they could find you at on social media.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Instagram all the time at Ian Deadlifts. I'm on Facebook, Ian Bell.
Yeah.
That's really all I got right now. But big on IG and all that all the time.
Yeah. Can't guarantee you're gonna get too many followers because it's still a small podcast. But ladies and gentlemen, that's the late and great Ian Bell, man. Thank you again, man. It was a pleasure, bro.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, for